In the northern part of the US and in Canada, a lot of anglers have two sets of tackle. They have their ice gear, where the primary baits are small jigs, spoons, and finesse soft plastics. They also have a much larger collection of open water tackle, which is typically much more diverse. If you're willing to experiment, you'll be pleasantly surprised at the amount of overlap you'll find between your ice tackle and the open water period. I'm going to give you some tips for catching shallow water crappies, and here I'm talking 10 feet or less, using Slender Spoons from Custom Jigs and Spins. Think for a moment about the triggering qualities that make the Slender Spoon so effective during the winter. Tons of flash, slow rate of fall, and an erratic wobbling action. Those same characteristics will elicit bites during the summer just as well as they did during the winter. Rigging your Slender Spoon for summer action exactly parallels the rigging you would use through the ice, except of course using a much longer rod. Here I'm using a very sensitive 6-foot 10-inch St. Croix Legend Extreme to be able to feel all the vibrations of that Slender Spoon as it travels through the water. Now here I'm running a braided main line, and then I have a mono leader that's 12 or 14 inches long, and those two are separated by a high-quality ball-bearing swivel. The swivel is an important part of this rigging setup because it's going to help to minimize line twist. At the business end of the rig, I've got a snap, and then of course I have my Slender Spoon. That's the exact same rigging I would use through the ice, and it's going to work just as well here in July. Water conditions right now are typical for midsummer fishing in the northern part of the US. I have water temperatures in the low to mid 70s that really creep up quite a bit during the day. I'm fishing on a very stained body of water that develops a significant algae bloom, and that algae is really starting to come on strong. Now you might think that those water conditions would drive all the quality panfish deep, but that's certainly not the case. Today I'm going to be targeting crappies in 6 to 8 feet of water associated with artificial fish cribs. I'm going to take advantage of the side imaging feature of my Humminbird Onyx system to determine precisely which cribs are holding fish. Now my summer Slender Spoon presentation is simple. I'm going to make a long cast to get the bait far away from the boat. Remember, we're going to be fishing shallow water. I don't want to focus on the water directly beneath my boat. I'm going to make a slow but steady retrieve. We're going to be fishing around wood fish cribs, and I want to make sure that Slender Spoon doesn't fall all the way down towards the bottom and get snagged up in the wood that constitutes the cribs. Now, during my retrieve, I'm going to fold in some little pops and pauses to give me a little extra flash and allow that bait to flutter as it falls down through the water. Well, we're all rigged up and we've got a game plan. Let's take that Slender Spoon crappie fishing. Just like during the winter, prepare for lots of Slender Spoon bites on the fall. They just love that flutter and flash. The Slender Spoon from Custom Jigs and Spins. A key part of your tackle collection, winter or summer.